Imagine this. You send an important message, and the person sees it but doesn't reply. Minutes pass. Your mind starts racing. Did I say something wrong? Are they upset? Did something happen? Suddenly, your heart beats faster. Your brain starts creating dozens of possible explanations. But here's the strange part. Your brain often prefers bad news over no news at all. Why? Because the human brain hates uncertainty. And today, we'll explore the fascinating neuroscience behind this, why uncertainty makes us anxious, what happens inside the brain, and how understanding it can help us handle life's unknowns better. Every second, our brain is trying to answer one core question. What will happen next? It predicts what someone will say, how people will react, whether a situation is safe or dangerous. Neuroscientists call this the predictive brain. The brain constantly builds internal models of the world based on past experience. For example, when you flip a light switch, your brain predicts that the light will turn on. When you hear footsteps behind you at night, your brain predicts whether it's safe or threatening. Prediction saves energy. Instead of analyzing everything from scratch, the brain uses shortcuts based on expectations. But when something is uncertain, those predictions collapse. And when predictions fail, the brain interprets it as potential danger. Because from an evolutionary perspective, uncertainty could mean risk. Why uncertainty feels uncomfortable? The amygdala, the brain's alarm system. Its job is simple: detect threats. When something uncertain happens, the amygdala becomes active. Our brain starts thinking, something unpredictable is happening. This could be dangerous. Even if the situation isn't actually dangerous, like waiting for exam results. But our brain treats uncertainty as a potential threat. This activates the stress response. Our body releases stress hormones like cortisol. Heart rate increases. Our mind becomes hyperfocused. Our brain prepares for the worst. Dopamine system, the reward prediction engine. Another system involved is the dopamine system. Dopamine is often called the reward chemical. Along with that, it tracks expectations and surprises. When the brain expects a reward and receives it, dopamine increases. But when the brain doesn't know what will happen, dopamine becomes unstable. This uncertainty creates a kind of mental tension. Our brain keeps searching for information to resolve the uncertainty. That's why people refresh email, check messages repeatedly, or obsess over possible outcomes. Real-life examples of uncertainty. Let's take some examples from everyday life. Waiting for exam results. You've finished the exam. There's nothing you can do now. But the waiting period is often worse than the exam itself. Your brain keeps asking, what if I failed? What if I passed? What if my future changes? The uncertainty keeps the stress system active. Job interviews. After a job interview, the recruiter says, "We'll get back to you." Now your brain starts running simulations. You replay every sentence you said. Was that answer good enough? Did I look confident? Did I make a mistake? Your brain hates the unknown outcome. Relationship uncertainty. Relationships create some of the strongest uncertainty responses. If a partner becomes distant or unclear about their feelings, the brain starts searching for explanations. Humans are storytelling machines. When information is missing, the brain fills the gaps, often with worst-case scenarios. How humans cope with uncertainty. Seeking information. We check messages, news, and updates repeatedly. Information reduces uncertainty, even if the news is bad. This is why studies show people often prefer certain negative outcomes over uncertain ones. Creating narratives. When information is missing, the brain creates stories. These stories may not be true, but they help the brain feel a sense of control. Building predictable routines. Daily habits, morning coffee, exercise, regular schedules, help the brain feel stable. Predictability reduces stress signals from the amygdala. Practicing tolerance for uncertainty. Psychologists call this uncertainty tolerance. People who learn to accept uncertainty tend to experience less anxiety. Practices like mindfulness, cognitive reframing, and focusing on controllable actions help calm the predictive brain. Instead of asking, "What if everything goes wrong?" you train your brain to think, "I'll handle whatever happens."